Welcome, everybody. This is Dan Phillips, and I am going to be working with you in PowerPoint today. Uh, Whoever thought I would have said this? I definitely did not expect I would ever do a projection mapping video in PowerPoint, but lo and behold, it can be done. Not the best, it's definitely very limited, but if you're just trying to get into the field to dabble your feet and you're not ready for After Effects and paying all of that, you want a cheaper route and to go with a more basic show, then PowerPoint is going to actually work for you. So let's go over how we can do projection mapping on the cheaper end. So here we are in PowerPoint. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new slide. The first thing you're going to need to do is go into your design and choose your slide size. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to go into page setup. Now this is a little funky here because this is coming into your height, your width and height, and it's all based in inches. And you usually see something like this, right? Okay, so that's like a general one. But we're going to go custom. So what I'm going to do a 1080p. So I'm going to do 1920 pixels and put px in there because it's automatically going to convert it over for you. So I'm going to put in 1920 and you see now it's a random inches, and then this one is 1080 px, and then I'm clicking off and now it is a random inches. So it correlates itself over, which is really nice, but a little funky when you're going to look at it. Now, when you click OK, it's going to ask you about scaling, and that's okay. You can scale because honestly, you haven't really done anything on this yet. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and now I have my basic slide. So now that you're in your slide, you're going to need to start building. One of the things that, if you haven't done this already, you can build your map right in here in PowerPoint. And you can go and do that by clicking into your insert and then go to your lines, and then you can build your map through the lines. Okay? When you build your map, please make sure you remember to make it completely full screen and have everything aligned so there isn't any scrolling. And I go over this in my mapping the house video. Also, there is a new option out there, well, at least newer since my mapping the house video, where Digital Pressworks offers its own software for PC, not Mac, but PC. And that's another highly used, easy to use, free mapping software. So you can do that. So once you have your mapping of the house created, the next step you're going to have to take is to create your masks, because you can create your masks here in PowerPoint by filling in the outside or anywhere that is not lined off. You fill that in black. It will honestly take you a ton of time to complete this, and I actually just began offering out to create masks for you. So if you're in a bind, it's definitely worth it. I keep it really cheap. It's really just kind of covering my time a bit, and you can just send your file over to me. I'll create the masks for you, send it back to you, and then you are good to go. So something that you would receive from that would look something like this. Let me pull up my 2020 masks. All right, so here we go, and I have all of my masks here that I use for my house, and you'll see that the files are ping files, so they have their transparency. And if you have me do it, I also create chroma key masks. These are mainly for use in After Effects because they have keying in After Effects, which really helps. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my first mask. And my first mask is my whole house. Let's do whole house, no circles. So I'm going to go ahead, drag and drop that over and in. Now your mask will fill this up completely and it will stay right on the edge. So if I go and move this around, you will see, I'm in my lines. So if I go ahead and move this around, you'll see that it is perfectly centered in there, and that is great. That tells you that everything was done by scale. So now I have my background mask in there. That's going to keep everything around the house dark. Now, to fill in any type of video that you want playing on your house, you can really just drag and drop it behind the mask. So if you want to do something just very easy and straightforward that just covers over your entire house, you can do that right there just by dragging it and dropping it behind that house mask. But I'm going to take it a step further. So another option that you can do in PowerPoint is to create a hauntified layer. So you can hauntify your house, which means that you are making your house appear a different way. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what my hauntified house looks like. In full, it looks like this. So I dragged and dropped it over. So I have my wood there on the house. I have some brick on the columns, blood splatter on the garage door, which is great. So I can use this file to help me. Another thing that I do with my hauntified layer is that I can take that hauntified layer out and I can create one that has some openings, and that's really important in the PowerPoint. So I'm going to go ahead and find my one that has my garage open. So hauntified, no windows, no garage. So what that is doing is that's leaving me some transparency behind that I can play some videos. And I'm going to mainly focus in here on this garage. So to start adding in some videos to play within the garage, I have to think of this as layers. So when I go in PowerPoint and I right click, I can go over to reorder objects. And when I click on that, that actually gives me this awesome view where it brings them out and I can see which layer each thing is in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video in between so it will play right in here. I'm going to pick a video. Let's just do some dancing skeletons in there. Here we go. So dancing skeletons. I'll pick let's do a TV one so it has the background there, and I'm just going to drag it down and drop it in. Now you're going to see off the bat it's filling up that whole screen, and that's not what we want. We just want it in the garage. So I'm going to grab the corner, I'm going to drag and size it over so that way it will fit in the garage here. Now you're going to notice that it overlaps and it looks a little weird. So let's take some steps to make this fit where we want it. I'm going to go ahead and right click, go to reorder objects. Now I'm going to see where I want my video, and I want to have my video behind that hauntified layer. And then I'm going to click OK, and you'll see that it's still not quite there. Okay, you can see some of the video on the outside, but at least it's within the garage. Now my hauntified layer does leave gaps here, okay? And I did that on purpose because on After Effects, I liked having that black background in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to go into my my design. I'm going to go to format background, and I'm going to make the background just a solid black. So I'm going to fill it, color, black. Now you can see what that looks like in the background. Everything's black, and now it looks like it's actually like a house with gaps in there in the wood. Really decrepit. But still, I see some of the video hanging out, and that just does not look great. So the next step that you'll want to do is add a new layer in that just allows the garage door to be shown. So I'm going into my masks, 2020 masks. I'm going into my garage doors. So I want to find one that has my garage doors. There we go, both garage doors. I'll drag and drop that in. Now, once again, it kind of messes things up here, but you can see that the video is nicely clipped around the garage doors. So to fix that, right click, reorder objects, and then I'm going to drag this layer back behind. To tell you the truth, if they had this in After Effects, I would love it. This is my favorite thing that I found about working in PowerPoint. It's very visual and it gives you a good concept. Now you can see right away everything is fitting out nice. It's falling out the bottom there a little bit, but that is not a big deal because that gets cut off in the video. So let's go ahead and play and see what this looks like. Alright, so that you can see that the skeletons are dancing nice behind there. It looks like they're actually a little big there, so I'm just going to shrink it down a little bit, try to get them in there a little nicer. Alright, and now they fit into that garage. So this is a very basic way that you can move forward in PowerPoint. There are definitely some things that you need to do on the outside of this, like create that hauntified look if you want that in the front of your house. You have to create some masks and your template. So there is some back end work that you're going to need to do. It is able to completely be done in PowerPoint. The creation of your masks, the creation of that hauntified look, and creating your end video. It's all able to be done in PowerPoint, but it is easier in some of the, paid software that you have to do. And I get it, PowerPoint's pay now, but for the majority of people, this is not a new program for you. So to make your life a little easier, I am offering out, so you can just reach out to me. I am on Fiverr, and I will create a hauntified layer for you, very reasonably priced, and also any masks that you require, very reasonably priced. I want you to be able to do this. But once you have those files, you can see that right away I already have a video very quickly done, made, and completely made in PowerPoint. Just to go through to finish this off, you have to export your videos. So I'm going to go and show you how to do this. You're going to click on File. You're going to go to Export once you are completely finished and happy with it. Pick where you want to have it done. You will go into File Format, and you can choose either MP4, which I prefer, or MOV, M-O-V, and then you will export it right there. Presentation quality, you have your width, you have your height. Export it can go through. Those are your that's really all you need to do, and then you take that, put that in your media player, set it up on your projector, and you are done. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is actually a very reasonable concept to use PowerPoint for projection mapping. Is it limited? Yes. Here are the limits. Are you ready? The limits that you cannot do in PowerPoint with videos at this point is any type of keying. And when you're really looking at a lot of those fancy projection mappings, not tooting my own horn, but mine, Baird Manor, I'm trying to think of some of the others off the top of my head. William, he does a bunch. They are all using a lot of keying effects, and that through Adobe After Effects. So you are going to need that for a lot of those bigger effects. Can you do some transparent images that are moving on your house? Yes. Those you would be using GIFs that have some type of transparency there, or ping files, and using some of the animations to move them around your house. So you can do that as well. But if you want to have like a basic show through PowerPoint, you can totally do it. And once again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can do it in PowerPoint. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm really happy to answer any questions as you go through. Remember, there are some things you're going to need to do and have file-wise in the back end to make this work. But it can work, and I am available to hire out to create those hauntified layers for your house and any of the masks for your house. The only thing I'm going to need is your completed mapping. So feel free to reach out to me, and in the description below I will have my Fiverr link there so you can get to me through Fiverr. Once again, as always, thank you for watching this video and subscribing and supporting this channel, and good luck on your projection mapping.